The most secretive program in American history was born from America's greatest fear. It's 1953, Washington, D.C. The Cold War grips the world, and CIA directors believe enemies can control human minds. They launch MK-Ultra, a defense program to unlock consciousness itself. Scientists promise to protect American minds from foreign control, but the mission shifts quietly. Researchers begin testing on unsuspecting civilians, using drugs and torture in hidden facilities. Hospitals become laboratories. Patients become test subjects. Doctors inject LSD into mental patients without consent. The program meant to defend American minds destroyed thousands of them instead. The secret that haunted America for decades was MK-Ultra. The most secret program in American history destroyed more minds than it ever controlled. It's 1953, Washington, D.C. The CIA launches MK-Ultra across 150 sub-projects. Universities, hospitals, and prisons become testing grounds. LSD flows like water into unwilling subjects. Doctors tell patients it's therapy while dosing them repeatedly. The goal is simple: break down minds and rebuild them for control. For years, the experiments expand, but subjects don't become controllable. They suffer paranoia, psychosis, and permanent breakdowns. Families shatter as reality unravels. The program that sought total control was MK-Ultra. The most terrifying victims never knew they were test subjects. It's the 1950s, across America. The CIA launches MK-Ultra, searching for the perfect mind control drug. They need human guinea pigs, but volunteers are hard to find, so they decide to skip consent entirely. Safe houses open in major cities, designed to look like normal apartments. One-way mirrors hide watching agents. Ordinary people walk in for what they think are social visits. Drinks are served, conversations flow, and nobody notices the drugs slipped into their glass. For months, unsuspecting Americans become lab rats in their own country, suffering memory loss and trauma they couldn't explain. The program that destroyed innocent minds was MK-Ultra. The man who promised to unlock the human mind became its greatest destroyer. It's 1953, Langley, Virginia. The CIA launches MK-Ultra, and a quiet chemist takes control. Dr. Sidney Gottlieb believes minds can be dismantled and rebuilt from scratch. He combines drugs, sensory deprivation, hypnosis, and electroshock in secret experiments. His colleagues call him a genius. The agency gives him unlimited funding and test subjects, but his pursuit of mental control creates only suffering and madness. When Congress investigates, his legacy crumbles into scandal and horror. The scientist who sought to master the mind was Sidney Gottlieb. The scientist who trusted his government was murdered by it. It's 1953, Maryland. Frank Olson attends a CIA retreat, believing he's among colleagues. Without his knowledge, they dose his drink with LSD. He's a test subject in their secret mind control program. Days pass, and paranoia consumes him. He spirals into fear, questioning everything he once trusted. But his handlers grow nervous about what he might reveal. On November 28th, Olson checks into a New York hotel. CIA agents watch from the next room. Hours later, he crashes through a 10th-floor window onto the street below. The agency calls it suicide, but decades later, evidence suggests murder. The scientist who served his country faithfully was Frank Olson. The most secretive program in American history was destroyed by its own creator. It's 1973, Langley, Virginia. CIA Director Richard Helms faces growing pressure as whispers of MK-Ultra surface across Washington. For decades, the program conducted mind control experiments on unwitting subjects. Thousands of files document every test, every victim, every horror. But investigations are closing in, and Congress demands answers. Helms makes a calculated decision. He orders the destruction of nearly all MK-Ultra documents. Thousands of files vanish overnight, shredded and burned beyond recovery. The evidence disappears, but so do the answers that victims and families desperately seek. The man who buried America's darkest secrets was Richard Helms. The most secret program in American history was destroyed by the very transparency it fought to prevent. It's 1975, Washington, D.C. The Church Committee begins investigating CIA operations, and classified files start surfacing. For decades, MKUltra conducted mind control experiments on unwitting Americans. Drugs, torture, psychological manipulation, all hidden from Congress and the public. The program thrived in complete secrecy, protected by national security claims and destroyed evidence. But then victims came forward with impossible stories that proved all too real. Hearings exposed the horror, shocking a nation that trusted its government. The secret program, undone by its own victims, was MKUltra. The most secret program in American history was destroyed by the very transparency it fought to prevent. It's 1975, Washington, D.C. The Church Committee begins investigating CIA operations, and classified files start surfacing. For decades, MKUltra conducted mind control experiments on unwitting Americans. Drugs, torture, psychological manipulation, all hidden from Congress and the public. The program thrived in complete secrecy, protected by national security claims and destroyed evidence. But then victims came forward with impossible stories that proved all too real. Hearings exposed the horror, shocking a nation that trusted its government. The secret program, undone by its own victims, was MKUltra.